Hello everyone, and welcome back to From City to Country. I'm just out here in the greenhouse having a look at what to put out in a new bed I am preparing. I've got some onion seedlings here that is long overdue to be planted out. As you can see, the roots are starting to come out from the bottom of this tray. Here I've got Alistair Craig. Here I've got the Globo variety. Both of these varieties are said to have really good storage, so I purposefully picked varieties that would do well in storage, because I would like to get to a stage where we won't have to buy onions or garlic. I'll be planting garlic in this video as well. I've got over 120 garlic cloves to plant. I don't think they'll all fit in this bed, including these onions, so we're gonna have to make another bed, but we won't be making another bed in this video. Probably make it sometime on the weekend. So yeah, let's get to it. So before we get to planting the garlic and onions, we have a little bit of an update to show you guys. It's been a skeleton for the majority of this year, but we finally are nearing the end of completing it. Ta-da! We've been building a polytunnel. I forgot the measurements of the polytunnel, but I'll insert it right here for you guys to see. As some of you may know or have seen, we had a really bad blight hit us this year with our tomatoes. This was supposed to be up at the beginning of this year, but we had a baby, so that kind of slowed things down a little bit in the garden as well. So we thought, you know what, we won't put too much stress on ourselves. We'll just take it steady, easy going, and just finish this whenever we can. Let's give you a bit of a tour inside. So it's not complete yet. We still have the tightening of the plastic to do on the sides. Preferably you'd want to do this when it's still really warm in the middle of summer, because it helps the plastic to stretch better. But since it's a bit cooler now, it's proving a little bit difficult, but that's okay. We can re-stretch it when it does get warmer next year, but this should suffice for the time being. Once we tighten it a little bit more, as much as we could, until next year. We still have the doors on either end to put back up. We had to remove the doors back again because we had to put the plastic up. It was just TK and I putting up this plastic. We didn't have any other help, so yeah, that was quite interesting. We've never done anything like this before. We've watched videos of other people putting together their polytunnel, but we made ours a little bit different. We made this polytunnel with these bars. Well, it used to be stair railings or railings for a disabled pathway. So they were all straight. They weren't bent like this. So we had to, well, TK bent these using a special device. I'm going to put a name here because I can't remember. He bent it at certain angles to create the shape that you see here of the polytunnel. We didn't purchase this polytunnel. The only thing that we had to purchase is the plastic, and what else? The little nuts and bolts on the sides. I'll insert something here for you to see what I'm talking about, but that's about it. Oh, and I almost forgot. We also had to purchase the tape for the plastic to stick to the structure so it doesn't move or anything with the wind and stuff. So all of the structure here was repurposed into building this polytunnel. Even the scrap wood that we found on Facebook Market, someone was getting rid of them, and they're perfectly good. They're not rotten or anything. They're just a bit old looking, but they still have a lot of life left in them. We saved a lot of money doing it this way. So this is our polytunnel on a budget. It feels quite spacious. There's a lot of potential that can happen here in terms of growing food and the amount we can get out of it. But overall, this probably cost us about £150 to complete. So not too bad. We saved probably about well over £1,000 for this. When you move from the city and into the country like we have, we found out you have to, improvise on a lot of things, and it's surprising what God can reveal to you and how to repurpose things and how to use things that you may have thrown away or just deemed as rubbish. It's just amazing what can be made out of repurposed materials to build a project like this, So another man's rubbish is another man's polytunnel. All right, let's get to planting those onions. Right, now we're back to the spot where we are going to sow our onions and hopefully garlic, because the weather is changing and I could feel a little bit of rain starting to come down. So I hope it holds up until I can finish. Right, so my husband TK was kind enough to build me this bed, which is also made of repurposed materials. We used a wood pallet to make this bed, so we saved some money there too. So I'm just gonna top it up quickly before we begin. Doing the same thing to this side, trying to break up the clumps so that the garlic and the onions can grow freely. Next, I'm going to feed the soil with this super phosphate powder. This is the Westland brand. I'm not sponsored by them. I just decided to give this a try because we grow a lot of root vegetables. So I'm yet to see the results. We still have to harvest our sweet potatoes, which is what I use this for. So we'll see the size when we harvest those. Mix it all up. Garlic is a pretty heavy feeder, and so is onions. So we just want to give them the best growing environment we possibly can for the biggest, juiciest bulbs, hopefully. Right, so we're going to begin with our onions. These were grown from seeds on the 6th of September. I've never grown onion from seeds before. I've only grown them once before using the sets, and unfortunately that failed epically. I didn't get any onions this year to harvest because something kept stealing my onion bulbs. We think it could be a squirrel, maybe the birds, but every time I'd put them back in the ground the next morning, they would be uprooted. So I wasn't too sure what was going on, so yeah, we just ended up losing all the onions. We didn't have anything, but fortunately we had a lovely garlic harvest. If you'd like to go watch that video, I'd link it here. Okay, I'm just gonna start making the holes for the seedlings to go into. We're gonna start with the Alyssa Craig variety. So you just want to give them maybe about between 15 and 30 centimeters. I'm doing mine about 15 in between each, give or take, and we'll see how that goes. Right, I went on ahead and I made holes on this side and on that side, so all I have to do now is put the onion seedlings in each hole. I don't think I'll be able to sow any garlic in here, unfortunately. The bed is too small, so perhaps I'll have to make another bed and put my garlic cloves in. Hopefully I'm not too late in sowing that, but if I am, it's okay. We've got another bed over here going of garlic, all garlic, and they've already sprouted up, so it's okay. I just didn't want any of the garlic to go to waste, so I think I'll end up making another bed for that. I heard that the onion seedlings are quite resilient, so they don't mind their roots being fiddled with. Look at the roots on that thing. Nice healthy roots. I'm taking out the best seedlings and I'm just going to pop them in the hole, so the healthiest looking ones will be planted and the kind of leggy ones I'll just leave out. And there we have it, folks. All done. The Alyssa Craig in front here and the Globo on that side. I had less Globo, so I just added a bit more of the Alyssa Craigs that were left over, and I still have Alyssa Craigs left over, so I don't want to waste them. I actually want to plant them all so I have a better chance of a bountiful onion harvest, hopefully this time around. Right, now that they're all planted in here, I'm just going to give them a quick watering and move on to the next thing. Anyway guys, I'm going to have to complete everything that I said I was going to complete today on the weekend, as the baby's now awake. So but at least I'm happy with the onions that I've sown in this bed. The garlic is just gonna have to wait a little while longer. Thank you friends for joining me in my garden today, and I'll see you next time. God bless. Bye bye.